bear any responsibility for the statewide blackout?
Well, okay, thank you for that. Now, you've seen, I spoke to the Premier briefly yesterday afternoon and then spoke to the Energy Minister, Josh Frydenberg, and he has, of course, been taking the lead in the discussions with the state. What we know so far is that there was an extreme weather event that damaged a number of transmission line assets, knocking over towers and lines, and that was the immediate cause of the blackout. I want to pay tribute to the SES workers, the workers working for the energy utilities that are working so hard to restore services. And as you know, most services have now been restored in South Australia, and it is a tribute to the resilience, the courage, the hard work of those men and women that has been done. So we should pay tribute to them, working in very tough conditions in a shocking storm. Now, turning to the issue of renewables, there is no doubt that a heavy reliance on intermittent renewables, by which in South Australia we're mostly talking about wind, but there's also solar, but intermittent renewables does place very different strains and pressures on a grid than reliance on traditional baseload power, whether it is fossil fuel or, of course, hydro, which of course, as long as the water is in the dam, is very reliable as well. So these intermittent renewals do pose real challenges. Now, I want to make this point. Energy security should always be the key priority. If you are stuck in an elevator, if the lights won't go on, if your fridge is thawing out, everything, the fridge is thawing out because the power is gone, you are not going to be concerned about the particular source of that power, whether it is hydro, wind, solar, coal or gas. You want to know that the energy is secure. Now that has to be the key priority. Now I regret to say that a number of the state Labor governments have over the years set priorities and renewable targets that are extremely aggressive, extremely unrealistic, and have paid little or no attention to energy security. And this is not just focused on South Australia, but the same observation can be made about Queensland or indeed Victoria. So I've asked the Energy Minister, my Energy Minister, Josh Frydenberg, to bring the state energy ministers together in what will be a precursor to my discussion with the premiers to ensure that we move towards a national renewables target. These state-based targets, some of which are completely unrealistic. I mean, Queensland, for example, has a 50% renewable target. Currently, renewables are about 4.5% of their mix. So what's the pathway to achieve that? Very hard to see it. It's a political or ideological statement. So let's focus now. Let's take this storm in South Australia, this incident in South Australia, as a real wake-up call. Let's end the ideology, focus on clear renewable targets. The federal government has one, as you know. 23.5% is our target. We have emission reduction targets we've agreed to in Paris. They are substantial. I've been thanked by world leaders, President Obama, no less, for the contribution that we've made. We should focus on those and stop the political gamesmanship between the states. We've got to recognise that energy security is the key priority, and targeting lower emissions is very important, but it must be consistent with energy security. Sorry, I'm sorry, you asked about MH17?
Oh no, sorry, the Climate Council has said this is the storm SA needed to have for the government to wake up and get serious about relying on fossil fuels. What's your response to that?
Well, I think I've just given it, so thank you.